What's that goddamn noise? That's a lint roller. That's what that shit is. Because I live with a goddamn cat. That's what I live with. And that is annoying.
What the hell even is that? Oh my god, I'm out here looking like the keyboard freaking elf, and I didn't realize until just now while I'm editing this video, so I had to pop on here real quick. This may or may not bother you, but it bothers me, so this voiceover was a necessity. I just wanted to let you know I had my hat too low. I know I'm going to get a comment about it, or some of you are going to feel a certain type of way about it, maybe not even comment, but you're just going to be like feeling that certain type of way. There it is. I pride myself on trying to be as open and honest and as transparent as possible. This bothered me so much to the point where I almost went back and had to redo this video, but I try not to be that guy. I want everything to be open, honest, and flow correctly and not be scripted or fake, and that's just me. So yeah, you're gonna have to endure staring at that hideousness for this video, and I'll try to do better next time.
How are we going to sit here? How are we going to do this? I can't tell. Can't tell what's what. Big mess here. Is this better? Is that better? No. No. What is it doing? What is anything right now? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I don't know where I'm looking. What am I looking at? You'll know. I don't know. I wanted to post this a little while ago, but I always get sidetracked. I get excited about posting a video, and then I get excited about posting a different video. So it's kind of like, I guess, whatever mood I'm in at the time. And I guess right now I'm in the mood to do this topic. I had mentioned in the previous video that I was going to talk about this. It's the topic of friendship, and I guess my experiences, my personal experiences with friendship, and I guess how it relates to my mental health and my struggles with mental health, and maybe you'll find some common ground and it'll make sense to you, maybe not, or maybe you'll just get some kind of different perspective from some dude that's a little whacked out once in a while. I'm trying, but I'm here and I'm real. I'm trying. So, friendship. My whole life, I feel like I've bounced back and forth through different friends, different friendships. I feel like some have come and then have gone and then reemerged like a herpy, sometimes very much unwanted. Well, with a herpy, it's, I guess, always unwanted. I've never had any experience with a herpy. I feel like I've had different people for the different years and the different phases of my life. Nothing is really stuck. I never had a solid, lifelong, lasting friendship. I've never had a friendship with anybody where I felt like it could go the test of time. And it's weird, right? Something always happens. So at some point, you're going to sit there and you're going to say, I am the common denominator. And I've done that. I've sat there and I've said that. And I'm not dismissing that. I'm sure that has something to do with it. But is it just me, or is it me? Is it the timing, or a combination of the two? Is it that version of me? Now, and I'm going to elaborate real quick on that. I feel like we all go through our phases, and I feel like we're all different versions of ourselves at different times. And I feel like different people, had they come into my life at a different time and experienced a different me, that we would probably still be friends. But then there's people that I'm happy I'm no longer friends with. I feel like I had them come along at the right time, maybe, and it helped me get through something and maybe realize something about myself and realize that that friendship wasn't what I needed, but it also helped me realize that I'm not who I should be at the time. I don't know if that makes sense. It's kind of not making too much sense. It is, but it's not. I don't know. We'll start from the beginning. When I was the young me, and I've met people as the young me, like the immature, more immature version, I feel like those people came in and got a really aggressive, wild version of myself that had even less, believe it or not, of a filter than I do now. I've got very little filter, but I've had less. I was very bad when I was young. I battled with really bad ADHD. I had BI. Oh, I guess it was BD, BI, whatever it is, a behavioral impairment, behavioral development issues. I was in special ed growing up. So I wasn't really surrounded to begin with by the best and brightest. I acted out, and I think looking back on it now, at my current state, I think I might have just not been challenged enough in school academically. So I was finishing my schoolwork and everything a little earlier than everybody around me at the time. I'm not saying I was some genius, I'm not. But I feel like I maybe should have been challenged more academically or put in a scenario where I could have been pushed to reach my potential. Instead, I was where I was, and back then, everybody was just so diagnosed happy, handing out Ritalin and Norpamine and whatever the hell other drugs they had us on. They had me in special ed classes in the basement by the boiler room, hidden away from people, and we had to get mainstreamed and couldn't even have gym class with certain people, couldn't eat lunch with these kids, couldn't go to regular classes with these kids. Cool stuff, right? But that forced me to end up with crazies. People. I remember one time this kid took my cross ring at the time and flushed it down the toilet. What an asshole, right? But that's what he did. That's what I was surrounded by. That was my environment. And because of that, because of those kids that I was surrounded by, because of all that, it molded me into even more of a problem than I was. And meeting friends outside of that was difficult. So you end up with those friends. So that was never going to last, obviously. Yeah, so that was a long time with that, right? After that, I somehow ended up into the version previous to this version of myself. It's my current version. The version previous to this was the one that was like real into cars, super into cars, really, right? Like the modding scene. That's when you guys started meeting me. But before that, actually, I didn't start filming, but a couple years prior to that, it started with like my 2009 G35 Coupe in the red G35 Coupe, where I learned about paint correction and stuff because I saw swirls for the first time and had a panic attack. But I got into that car phase and that scene, where you're just spending money frivolously on car mods and car parts because you're trying to impress people. I was speeding around like an idiot moron with no regard for anything. I didn't really have any kids in the time, and I had nothing to worry about. I had nothing to be mature for, or no one to be mature for. I was just acting out. And around that time, I started going through my mother's battle with her. And then when she succumbed to that battle, that was right after that. The year after is when I started my YouTube channel, 2016. She passed away in 2015. So that version of myself, I think, was just at the beginning of battling depression, and I was looking for acceptance. I started with a lot of weight gain. I had a lot of trust issues. I had a lot of confusion. So everyone and everything that came into my path, I pushed away and I treated bad, and I was very toxic. I felt like I met a lot of people, good people, during the last, 10 years almost. But it's a wrong version of me that they got. And I felt like I was abrasive to people. I was a show off. I was gloating and just being a real dick. I feel like that definitely happened. And I blame myself. Again, it was right after bad stuff happened. So, some of the people that came in didn't, again, get the best version of me. Now, here we are, this version of me, where I am not speeding. I'm not worried about race cars and impressing anybody. This version of me is built for family, built for future, built for making money, built for worrying about taking care of my children, generational wealth, and having memories and going places and doing things. And raising my children the correct way, and being the man that I want my kids to see me as and remember me as. That's this version of me, right? So again, I think had I met different people in different times, I would have possibly had these friendships still, but as I sit, I don't really have a a long friendship. Now, as I say that, I'm talking about in-person real friendships. Now, here's the other side of this, and this is where it could get a little confusing. And excuse my voice if it's a little nasally or I sound weird. I just had like a 47.5 minute long sneezing fest upstairs. I don't know if I'm coming down with a cold or if it's allergies or it's very cold outside. I have a dry ass nostril. I dodged the Italian schnoz. My mom had that hook nose, the big hook nose. I dodged that. I still not 100% with happiness with my nose, but I dodged that. And I do have, however, a deviated septum, which is a chronic Italiano crapple thing that I want to get fixed, but somehow that ended up happening, which I think is leading toward the reason why I have the dry ass schnoz and causes me to sneeze every day of my life. That and the giant panther of a cat upstairs that I'm stuck with for the rest of his years. Yay. Yeah, I ramble. You knew that by now. But like I said, the next part is not in-person friends. Now, here's the funny part. I've met more awesome and amazing people through Instagram and YouTube than I have in person. And I'm not trying to hurt any feelings. Not that really anybody that watches this really knows me that much in real life. It's very few of you. But the people I've met online, I've had friendships on Instagram still to this day, and I feel like some of those friendships will supersede me ever using that social media. I've gotten private phone numbers, I've had FaceTime calls, I've met people from Instagram and YouTube in person, and they just ended up being better friends. Again, it could be a timing thing, it could be the version of me that they're getting and when and why and where, but I just feel like it's really difficult to have friendships. And you have to look at all the variables, and you can't just sit there and say it's everybody around you. You can't just lock it in and say it's just you. I think it's all combination. It's the timing. It's everything, right? But where is this all going? About mental health, and it's about how important friendships are, and the struggle that I've been having because I haven't had that solid friendship core, that base. I didn't even have a lot of people to reach out to. I lost a lot of family and friends throughout the years, and I didn't have a lot of people to talk to, confide in, and I feel like you have to really try better than I did, and use me as an example of what not to do. If I saw people pushing away instead of me reaching out to them, I let them go. Defense mechanism number one, I just kept walls and I kept building them and I kept making them thicker and taller, and now here I sit. It's tough, and I'm not even at a position where I could really make a lot of new friends. My career is not conducive to friendship. I have my business partner who's like my brother and a very good friend of mine, but I'm not going to meet other people likely through that. But where does the mental health tie in? It's just so important. Friendship and family are so important. We'll talk about family another time, but friendship in particular, it's that bond that you form with somebody that you didn't feel forced to. I guess, you don't necessarily have to be forced to have family in your life, but family, you don't pick that. That's just, oh, here's your family. And it's like, oh, that's either blood or marriage. And you got to just like learn to live with it. Some people you just have to deal with it. Some people are just complete assholes and you're like, oh, that's my family. I'm just stuck with that, right? But friends, they come in and you kind of choose each other like Avatar. You're linking up the ass of your hair with their tails, and it's like commingling, whatever the hell they're doing, and you're bonding, right? That's your friendship. How hard is it to find people that have the same interests as you, are on the same phase as you, the same page as you, the same likes as you, and then also try to find somebody that isn't jealous of you and that you're not jealous of. And somehow all of this in this perfect cauldron soup spell of wizardry, you have to form a friendship. It's pretty ridiculous. It's almost as hard as falling in love, because now that's somebody that you have to find that you also have sexual relations with. I mean, not saying you don't have sexual relationships with your friends. A lot of you might. Go play it, do what you do. But it's a strange and it's a very difficult thing. But the mental health aspect of it is far-reaching, far-reaching. And I feel like I screwed myself a lot. I didn't reach out to people. I didn't open up to people. I was very standoffish. I held up walls and I made them stronger. I pushed people away. I felt when people were getting closer, I pushed them away. I acted out. I was an asshole to a lot of people. I regret that. Lost a lot of good friends. I did, and a lot of that I do own up to, because part of being a man, you have to realize you've got flaws, and everybody's got flaws. You know, some people like to think they're perfect. I'm far from it. I admit it. But don't push people away. Try to pull them in. Obviously, filter it. You need to be like, I'm in the insurance field, so you need to be an underwriter, okay? You need to be the last line of defense as an underwriter to stop people from getting to you to hurt you, because they can't get close enough to hurt you if you don't let them, right? But you also have to find that balance where you take a chance. You have to take a risk. You have to let people in. I've always struggled with that. I've struggled with that because then you're vulnerable, and vulnerability has been a very tough thing. Doing these videos has been a tough thing, but it has been rewarding. The comments, the messages, lots of private messages, tons of private messages. You guys don't like to leave comments, but I get a lot of you private messaging me, and I love it. I don't ever want you to stop. Open up to me. I don't talk to anybody about the things that you confide in me, and I respect your privacy, and I respect, what you're going through. I do. So that's why these videos exist. I feel like I need to do better. Getting up there in age, I'm gonna hit 40s in a couple years. Not that soon, but it's on the horizon. Shit, once you get past 35, you start thinking about things differently. You really do. I wish I had more people close that I could, just say, hey, let's go get a beer. Let's go talk. Let's go hang out. Let's do something. Let's do some guy shit or girl shit, whatever you're into. I don't know. But I don't have that. And again, I'm going to blame myself, but not blame myself at the same time, because you can't dwell on things and live in the past and hurt yourself going forward. Anyway, friendship's very, very important. Try your best to keep friends. Try your best to make friends. Try your best to put yourself out there without putting yourself out there too much to the point where you're going to get hurt. There is a balance. You have to try to find it. That's life, and it sucks, and it's scary, and it's just outrageous, right? But it's life, and I think everybody should and could do it. A lot of people will say, do you have regrets? Would you go back and change anything? And as much as I do miss certain people, I do have some friends that I used to talk to. There's a reason everything happens. They always say that, right? But you have to truly believe that. And it's like, even though I know I lost good people, what else would I have lost if I had kept them? It's so weird to think that, but it's like, what if? What if I didn't? What if I was friends with somebody and that friendship, staying friends with that person, caused me to not meet my wife? Then I wouldn't have my kids. What if being friends with somebody else stopped me from making a certain business decision, and I wouldn't have been in the same place that I'm in? There's just, you can't dwell on the past. It happened, and for better or worse, you are now the person that has been molded from what just occurred. But you need to try to, test the waters and meet people and talk to people and open up to people and be vulnerable with people. It's a cool thing. It's a beautiful thing if you could find somebody that you fuck with that fucks with you. Excuse my language, but I'm going to say those two cuss words, and you're going to have to deal with it. And I'm not beeping it. I'm not bleeping it. I'm not censoring it. Demonetize me. It is what it is. But yeah, anyway, that's all I want to talk about. I do feel like a lot has happened. I feel like there's a broader topic to talk about, but this is as far as I want to go with the topic of friendship. I miss some people, but there's a reason, again, for everything, and I think you need to just stick with, like I said, it's the different versions of you and a different timing. I can't lift my arm up. I hurt my arm shoveling snow. Damn it. Wet snow is the worst. Snow in general is the worst. I hate living in New Jersey. Hallelujah. It's amazing, right? But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you are an OCD OG, I truly appreciate you, and it means a lot. It does. I'm going to keep trying to make these videos. I have a lot of topics to talk about. Message me if you have other topics, other ideas to talk about, and look at the background. I'm trying to add certain things, and I'm going to try to have it where I have two backgrounds, so like I could have different things happening over there. I will fix the lighting. I do have issues. And then now I have a hat on because I need a haircut, and I should have got a haircut, but I didn't get a haircut because I've got a business meeting in 2 weeks, and I don't want to get a haircut now. I want to get a haircut next week, so it's within 1 week of the meeting as opposed to 2 weeks, because then my hair is going to grow out, and then I'm going to feel like, what the hell was the point of the haircut? This is just what goes on in my head. It's a disaster, but it's okay. I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I'm doing well, and I'm happy. And these videos help. They help me talk. That's what I like to do. I like to talk. It's probably why I don't have a lot of friends, because they don't want to hear this goddamn mouth rambling. So this mouth is going to shut. I hope everybody's staying happy, healthy, and humble. I love you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Make friends.